Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be walking everyone through how to integrate an external amplifier with a conducted RF test system used for bulk current injection testing. So today we're going to be using the Tesla NSG4070 C80, which you'll find on top right up there. Just below that you'll find the Tesla CBA400M260, which is the external amplifier we're going to be using today, and that covers 10 kilohertz to 400 megahertz at 260 watts. We will also be using a couple of attenuators you'll find in the lower right corner, as well as our dual directional coupler. So for the video today, we use the Wurlitone C6047-10, and it does cover 10 kilohertz to 400 megahertz up to 500 watts. So during the video today, we are going to be doing the bulk current injection calibration to verify our setup is correct. And we will be using the Tesla CIP9136A, which you'll find on the left, as well as the associated calibration fixture, which is the PCJ9201. Okay, so let's begin with setting up a few different connections from our Tesla NSG4070 to our dual directional coupler, as well as our RF power amplifier. So taking a look, you will see the front panel of our NSG4070, as well as our CBA400M260. So now let's go ahead and take a few minutes and walk through some of the connections you're going to need to make. Starting from the upper left-hand corner of the Tesla NSG4070, you will see the RF out. We went ahead and we connected the RF out to our RF in of our external amplifier. As I mentioned previously, we're using the Tesla CBA400M260. Now the next series of connections is going to be through the power meter, and you will see three different channels. Channel 3 being the top one, that's going to go to the reverse power on our dual directional coupler. Then we have channel 2, and that's going to go to the forward power on our dual directional coupler. And then finally, we have our RF output, which you will see as on the right side of the Tesla CBA400M260, and that's just going to go to the input right here on our dual directional coupler. So that should just about wrap it up for the right side of the setup. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the left side of the setup and walk through some of those connections as well. Here you're going to find the left side of your bulk current injection calibration setup. And we're going to use this today just to verify that our setup is correct. Now let's go ahead and let's take a look at some of the connections. So taking a look at the output from our dual directional coupler, which you'll find right here, we have that going to our current injection probe. During today's video, we are using the CIP9136A and the associated calibration fixture. So taking a look, we already have mounted the current injection probe into our calibration fixture, and we have attached our 50 ohm attenuator or termination load. Taking a look at the right side of the calibration fixture, right here, you will see we have that connected to our 20 dB attenuator, and then from our 20 dB attenuator, we have that going to the channel 1 of our Tesla NSG4070. So just be aware when you are going out there and setting up these different setups with external amplifiers that you do want to be sure you're using the appropriate attenuation as you push to higher test levels. While the channel 1 power meters do have some protection built into them, a lot of times if you do overdrive it, it can damage it. Alright, so now let's go ahead and let's turn on the system. Let's modify some different parameters, run a calibration, as well as import data for our dual directional coupler. Alright, here you're going to find the front panel display for your Tesla NSG4070. So the first thing we're going to want to do is import our forward and inverse coupling attenuation data. So to do that, all you have to do is select Setup, go to Directional Coupler, and then we're going to go ahead and load a file. We have named the file for today useme.txt, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit enter. Alright, so we did receive the message that the data has been successfully imported. Just be aware when you are going out there and you are getting that file ready to import that it does need to be formatted in very specific ways. Just be sure you're referencing the user manual when you're doing that. Alright, so now let's go ahead and let's go back. And let's go back one more time. Now let's go ahead and walk through some of the different criteria to run that calibration setup. Let's go to immunity mode. And here you're going to find the generic test information. Again, when you are going out there and running it for yourself, you can modify this to the associated criteria. However, for today's video, we're just going to do a very low test level just to verify our setup is correct using our external amplifier. Now let's go ahead and let's start with the test level. We're going to go ahead and keep it at 25 milliamps. We are using ISO 11452 kind of as a baseline, and we are using an external amplifier. So sometimes when you receive the Testic NSG4070, it may have internal indicated for amplifier. To change that, all you have to do is go to Test Setup. You want to go to Amplifier, so that's going to be the third one down. And you're going to switch that from internal to external. All right, and then it should indicate that on the screen. All right, so now let's take a look at the sweeps. You'll see ISO 11452 steps indicated. Today we're just going to go ahead and run it from 150 kilohertz to 230 megahertz. And we're just doing this to verify that our setup is correct. So now let's go ahead and let's go to calibration, system calibration. And when you're ready to run the calibration, all you have to do is hit Start Cal. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pause the video for a few moments. We're going to let it run the calibration just because the Testic amplifier that we're using for today's video is a little loud and you won't be able to hear us. So now let's go ahead and let's run the calibration. We just received the message indicating the calibration of our BCI test setup was successful. So we hope this video was useful when you're going out there and looking to integrate an external amplifier with your conducted RF test setup for bulk current injection testing. Feel free to reach out to us if you're ever in need of any rental conducted RF test equipment, including the conducted RF test systems, as well as bulk current injection probes and external amplifiers. Thank you.